Thank you for joining us. MSP is expecting today to be the busiest day of post-Christmas travel as people start to head home. CC brings us a look from inside the airport at how the day is going.
Now, while we're not seeing as many cancellations and delays as last year at this time, they are still happening. So pay close attention to your specific airline for the latest updates about that. But FAA officials say that they're working closely with airlines during this time and holding airlines accountable if they let down passengers. Officials say if your flight gets canceled for any reason, you are entitled to a full refund if you choose that instead of rebooking. Also, all airlines offer meal cash or vouchers when your flight is canceled and you have to wait 3 or more hours for a new flight. And most offer complimentary hotel accommodations for any passenger affected by an overnight cancellation. Now, with all the cancellations and delays flying around, things can kind of be in limbo at this time. So just know that if you're dropping someone off or picking them up during this holiday season, there is a second cell phone lot here at MSP where you can park for free and wait, and it'll help you stay out of the congestion here when you're picking them up or dropping them off. For now, I'll send things back over to you guys.
Thanks so much, CC. If you are hitting the road today, the weather should cooperate, right? But we've certainly cooled down compared to this weekend. And John, it looks like we are finally getting closer to winter temperatures, right?
Yeah, I would call them winter temperatures, not January temperatures, but winter temperatures. We'll see some 20s at least by the weekend. Couple of flurries out here. It's almost it's pleasant. It's kind of nice. I mean, it's definitely, you need a light coat, but that's about it. 36 degrees. We have not had a day in the teens yet for highs, which is hard to believe as we go into January. 34 in St. Cloud, 36 in the cities. Most of us hanging just above 32 degrees right now. Couple of flakes flying, but not really picking up a whole lot. I will tell you, if you're watching right now in St. Cloud, Redwood Falls, Wilmer, Glencoe, I do think there's going to be a little heavier light snow or flurries. It might accumulate to a little bit, but the big system is still down to our south near St. Louis. This is all going to move over towards Chicago, and it is something that is going to accumulate in parts of even western Wisconsin. We could talk about 1 to 3 inches from that batch to our south. I think most of us here in Minnesota going to be a miss, but we're going to track all of this out. We'll talk about the totals and where I'm expecting those in your full forecast.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, John. Well, okay, once again, today we know more about this Christmas Day burglary. You can see that authorities were actually at the scene when it happened, a deputy moving out of the way just in time. Police did arrest Austin Erickson shortly after. It happened at Towsley Motorsports in White Bear Lake. Erickson of Little Canada is accused of putting on a helmet and other gear from the store before stealing the UTV and crashing it into a lot of expensive merchandise.
Well, we hope the insurance company is going to help it. I mean, this is kind of new waters for us too. It's uncharted territory, so we'll figure out how to get through it. We'll all team and we'll work together, and we'll rebuild.
Erickson was charged this morning with 3 burglaries, including burglary. 3 charges, rather, including burglary. Meantime, in other news, a 17-year-old Fridley boy is now charged with second-degree murder in the death of his ex-girlfriend, 18-year-old Jaden Lee Klein. Court documents show Fridley police say the teen admitted to getting into an argument with Klein and then shooting her last Thursday in his mother's van. Neighbors reported hearing a loud noise. Investigators say a Ring doorbell camera shows the passenger door of the van open. A gunshot is heard, and Klein's body falls from the van as the driver speeds off. Officers in Wyoming, Minnesota are warning about the dangers of swatting calls. Chief Neil Bauer says police got a call early Christmas morning from someone who said they were holding his mother hostage with intentions to kill her. It turns out that was a swatting call. Swatting is a prank call made to authorities with the purpose of luring them to a location. Chief Bauer says the call and their response to the address took an hour and included 6 different departments. But he says police are not the only victims of swatting.
It can be kind of harassing towards the homeowners as well, or the residents as well. They're not, drawing this attention to their house, and all of a sudden you've got law enforcement from 5 different agencies, 6 different agencies showing up, and the neighbors are all wondering what's going on this weekend.
Just 20 days ago, the Minnesota Department of Public Safety issued an advisory against swatting after police responded to several schools and Jewish facilities for fake calls and emails. Well, turning to world news now, the Israeli military is now expanding its attacks into refugee camps in central Gaza. NBC's Josh Letterman shows us what is happening now that people in the crowded area are being ordered to leave.
Despite all of that international pressure from the U.S. and other nations, the UN, to scale back or stop this war, Israel's government says it is actually intensifying its attacks, both in the southern Gaza Strip, in Khan Yunis, in Rafah, but also in refugee camps in central Gaza. And just this morning, we heard from the French government, which says it is gravely concerned by that announcement by Israel, by the fact that they continue to increase attacks when so many of these nations are now demanding a ceasefire. But the Israeli government making clear it is not entertaining any ceasefire. In fact, Prime Minister Netanyahu says the job is not yet done and that any efforts to try to get Israel to stop will be in vain for the time being. And that really lies at the heart of the tension between the U.S., Israel's closest ally, and officials here in Israel. As a top advisor to Netanyahu is in the U.S., he's been meeting with the National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and the Secretary of State Antony Blinken, as there is a big disagreement between the U.S. and Israel about what comes the day after the war. Netanyahu, in a Wall Street Journal op-ed, is arguing that Israel must maintain a full control over the security situation in the Gaza Strip for the foreseeable future, but the Biden administration is insisting that any occupation of the Gaza Strip by Israel in the future would be a mistake. Josh Letterman, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
After a recent ruling to take former President Donald Trump off the presidential primary ballots in Colorado, today the Michigan Supreme Court is rejecting a similar attempt. Lawyers use the same argument in Michigan, saying the 14th Amendment bans Trump from running because of the insurrection. Both cases now will likely head to the U.S. Supreme Court. This year, food pantries in Minnesota have seen over 1 million more visits than in 2022. So still ahead, how one organization is taking on one of the biggest factors leading to food instability. Plus, as the temperatures cool down, experts are breaking down what we need to do to avoid dry or damaged skin.